Hello, my name is Arnold Paz de Honduras, from the state of Santa Barbara. I'm the co-owner of Finca San Jose, and I've been doing this and producing coffee. My family has been producing coffee for 132 years now. I'm fourth generation coffee grower, and I've been kindly asked by Instituto Español del Café and Mareterra, who are the people that distributes and buys my coffee and sells my coffee in Europe, to talk a little bit about the process that I do. Let's start. It's a very old farm, as you know. We have divided this farm in 12 different coffee profiles. We're tasting right now the profile called El Naranjal. El Naranjal is a very nostalgic product. It's one of the oldest parcels of coffee in my land. My father, when he was 6 years old, used to walk with his grandfather to an orange plantation. We still have some of those orange trees, older than 100 years now. And I hope you like it. This is Típica en Caturra. Most of the coffees on my farm are Caturra and Catuai, 70% Caturra, 30% Catuai. We try to preserve as much as we can the same varieties that we've been growing for years and years. Right now this coffee, it was roasted yesterday by my friend Timur, and we are trying to see what it tastes like. You can taste right now the chocolate and cocoa flavors, very aromatic with some vanilla and jasmine. It's a delicious cup of coffee that I hope you enjoy in Russia and different parts of the world. Let me get some water so I can clean a little bit this. I'll be back in a minute. One of the secrets of this coffee, I've been asked to talk to you about methods and production methods. One of the first things I have to say about this is that we do the picking 100% red cherry. We don't accept more than 4% green coffee in it. More than 4% of the beans in green, which meant some astringency and some bitterness in the flavor. Since my coffee is very sweet, the first quality insurance we have, or quality control if you want to, is that we ask and request our pickers that only pick the red one. As you know, it's called cherry because of that red color proper of a cherry fruit. That tells me that the coffee is in his perfect ripening state. The second quality control that we have is a water siphon that we have a very traditional water, sorry about this cap, very traditional water wet mill system. Everything is hydraulic. We use some pendant to transport the coffee, but this cherry is going to a siphon. When the vein beans, those cherries that have only the one good bean, float and get separated. Then goes to a stoner when the stones and you might laugh about this, bullets and combs and watches are separated, and then they go into a 48-year-old depulper. I'll be glad to send you some pictures along with this talk, and maybe I got the chance one of these days to present to you my farm, and you can see it. The better will be that you go to my farm and visit me. I would love that. Once it's depulped, it goes to fermentation tanks. We control fermentation in two ways. We control temperature. We control temperature of the air and water temperature. We have conducted a study, 3 years a study, where we control this, and we know now, for example, if the water is 15 degrees Celsius and the air temperature is 17, fermentation is going to take 18 to 20 hours. What we do after that is use a stick, and we see a full circle in the mass that doesn't close. That means that fermentation is ready. We wash, Let me see if this coffee is ready to drink. Not yet. We're still waiting. We wash the coffee. We use the minimum water as we need to. Actually, we spend 120 liters of water to see 100 pounds of green coffee, export kind. Once we do that, we put it into a classification canal that functions like a river. The heaviest beans stay in the first stage, and the lighter beans are dragged by the water flow. This first stage is that's what we call specialty coffee, and then we use, instead of going into a patio to dry it, we put it 24 hours more in water. That's a Kenyan technique called soaking, remojo in Spanish. I assure that the middle part of the bean is remove all the mucilage left. This part right here is left with mucilage most of the time. And that I ensure with this method that zero fermentation problems with the bean. This is proven to lose 10% weight, but to increase 3 points in a score sheet, SCAA, and sweetness and chocolate flavors. Once we have that solved, we proceed to start the drying stage of the coffee, which is in 3 parts. First part, we drain the beans in the classification canal, and then we put it in a patio for 8 hours. Only 8 hours to remove the surface water. Once we do remove the surface water, we put it into a solar dryer that we call, I'm going to use this marker just to draw a sheet. Maybe Timur can I draw here? Perfect. I love Ye Cafe for this, don't worry about it. Once I do that, and you picture the coffee bean, an Arabica coffee bean should be more elongated and not as round. And you remember, water is inside, outside bean is dry, and right now we have 45% moisture. Once I reach 30 to 33 degrees Celsius, this water marks or creates water ducts. And the water goes this way, out. If I have to do this in 18 days, average. If I do it in less, I might have the risk that these walls break and the water stays inside, and what it goes out is our friend oil. You don't want that. Once this is out, you'll see the surface of the bean kind of very shiny, green. But in 2 months, that bean is going to become white. And the flavor is going to be what you know as old crop. Very rancid. That's what happened with oil when it gets in touch with our friend O2. After this small class, and I dry, what we do is use a bucket or a wooden box of 1 cubic meter that holds up to 1,000 pounds of dry parchment. This goes up to 90 days. And this is yellow oak. This is only to rest. And I mean rest the oils. As in rum, as in wine. Let me see if this coffee is ready to drink. It should be. It is. It's really hard to talk about your own coffee. But this coffee is simply delicious. And please tell me if you don't like it first, so I can improve it. I'll give you a tip. Be patient. This coffee is going to taste better as it cools down. It always does. Arabica varieties do. The product that you're about to taste, especially if it's from my farm, is the product of very hard labor and to see a cherry and become a drinking product, it takes around 5 months process. So I really hope you guys, whatever you are, enjoy this piece of Honduran history that I would like to call Honduras Finca San Jose. Nice meeting you. Thank you.